In my case, it's the march of the sick baby.
Oh, I have one of those. Kept me up all night.
Oh. Is it just kind of fussy crying or coughing? Or you just kind of
coughing,
baby
and
stuff,
runny nose, and
Aww.
Babies are high maintenance.
They're demanding.
It gets worse as they get older.
I wish. Don't tell me that.
Right, because then they get smart.
My 3-year-old has a sore throat, a fever. I think she has a flu. I got up every 45 minutes last night.
Dude, your babies are sick.
Yeah, you got some sick babies.
Well, it'll be all worth it. It'll be worth it.
That was really funny to Sarah and I, who don't have babies.
When will it be worth it, Roger?
Somewhere after high school.
Oh, so yeah, you only have like 18 years. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's not a life sentence.
It'll go like that.
Yeah.
Think of it as a life goal.
I've decided to just go ahead and act 50 starting now.
Okay. Is there a reason?
Yeah, that way when I turn 50, it won't be a big deal.
Oh,
So
yeah.
What does that mean? Act 50, like?
Oh shit, baby's crying. No, he's okay.
Okay. Are you alone?
My wife is sick as well.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Do you need to take the day off? You can totally take the day off.
No, I think he's okay. He coughs, but he's really good, and he falls back to sleep.
Okay. All right.
So now it's just a cough. If it turns into a full meltdown, I might need to disappear.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened yet. So, and it's been a few days, and so it should be okay. But yeah, not great fun.
Well, yeah, it sounds exhausting at the very least.
Have you tried turning them off and turning them on again?
Yeah.
My understanding is that you can't do the second part of that.
Oh, that's difficult. Yeah. You don't want to do the first if you can't do the second.
Yeah.
What if you just do, I see people pat babies sometimes. You pat the baby and then everything's okay.
You know what? I never thought of that.
You should try it. You should try. You're welcome. Yeah.
You're welcome. That's my favorite. Someone says, "You're welcome."
Oh, yeah. It'd be like somebody, giving me advice on, I don't know,
cats,
something that they don't know. Exactly. Yeah. Where I'd be like, well, you just come back when you have one.
That being said, I really shouldn't complain because he's a trooper.
Aww.
And also he's impossibly cute, which I think
that's for sure. I saw a photo the other day. What a cutie.
Science needs to get on how that baby is so cute. Like that's
how'd you do that?
I mean, I think it's an evolutionary trait of babies that means they get funny reactions and care rather than being dumped in the trash.
Gotcha.
They weren't cute, really. Like, what would be the point?
Well, that's why they are cute to force you to take care of them.
Absolutely.
It's like a Tamagotchi.
I also heard, I don't know if it's true, but apparently there's a theory that baby are really crap and difficult to manage and handle because it means that only the smart in the species get to have them. And so it's apparently an evolutionary advantage that babies suck. So I don't know about that.
I always thought that they sucked because it takes a village to raise a child, and that was the way you suckered everyone else to help you out.
I think it takes a village to raise a child because they suck, not the other way around.
I will say this. Kids are a real pain in the ass until they do that one or two things that makes you really like, fine, all is forgiven.
Oh, he started saying pop, 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 pop a few days ago. That made it all worth it. He's walking as well. Oh, should we start the show? Okay.
Yes, we should, but I want to hear
more about my baby if you want. But
yes, after the show.
Well, I'll go.
Wow. How did it go? Oh.
All right.
How about that?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bill and Britt Duran have supported independent tech news directly for almost 5 years. Thanks, the Durans. Be like the Durans. Become a DTNS member at patreon.com/DTNS. This is the Daily Tech News for Tuesday, December 18th, 2018 in Los Angeles. I'm Tom Merritt.
And from Studio Feline, I'm Sarah Lane.
And from Sniffle City in Finland, I'm Patrick Beja.
And I'm the show's producer, Roger Chang.
That's a traditional Finnish name, Sniffle City. And it means
yes, my baby is ill. I do want to add, though, that before we start the show, we should be like the Durans in so many ways, including supporting the show, but like so many other ways as well.
Yeah, like being talented and amazing
and fun and kind, yes,
and cool to talk to and hang around. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a very good point. We are going to talk about faking sponsorships. It's a weird thing that goes against everything I was ever raised to believe. Later in the show, but let's start with a few tech things you should know.
Charter Communications agreed to a $174.2 million settlement over a 2017 lawsuit in the state of New York that speeds were up to 80% slower than what Charter was advertising to its customers. 700,000 active customers will each be refunded between $75 and $150, and then an additional $110 million will go towards free streaming services and premium cable channels distributed to 2.2 million subscribers in New York.
Google Home can now read events from a G Suite account. Multiple calendars on Google Home have been available for more than a year, but previously didn't support birthday or holiday calendars or shared calendars created by a G Suite account or imported calendars.
And ARM is adding the Cortex A76AE CPU with focus on automotive applications to its portfolio. ARM's first to feature the split lock technology that allows two CPU cores to operate in a configurable lockstep operation mode and lets the units process tasks together, achieving a required level of functional safety of the software that is run on the system. All right, let's talk a bit about the day that has finally come, that so many have dreamed of, Patrick.
You have asked, you have begged, you have pleaded, you have dreamed, and Twitter introduced a new toggle feature in its iOS app to switch from the rect timeline to a reverse chronological feed, which was the original. The company says it understands Twitter users find real-time tweets important during live events, such as sports, games, and the Oscars. Twitter says the feature will roll out to other platforms in the coming weeks.
Yeah, there were some folks who had this as a beta test. Now, I've said this a million times on the show before. I use Tweetbot, which is a third-party app. It's not made by Twitter itself. It is reverse chronological. So that's the only Twitter that I have ever known. Yes, if I go to the web version of Twitter, I see all this pinned tweets and ads and mumbo jumbo that quite honestly, I'm like, get out of here. So that's why I actually like Tweetbot for this reason. I suspect that, first of all, I suspect a lot of folks are just used to the Twitter that they're used to and will never use this. But for those who do use it, because it is really good in real-time situations, they won't want to switch back because it's the better Twitter.
I don't hate the non-chronological feed. It exposes me to things that I'm glad I saw because I don't read Twitter all the time. And so when I do pop in and see something that's,
here's what you missed stuff is actually kind of helpful.
Love that. Love that. I also absolutely want the ability to say, oh no, I have checked Twitter recently and now you're just showing me old things. Show me what's new. I want to see what's recent. Just give me that option. And this is that. It says, look, you want to have the algorithm timeline? Great, you can. If you want the chronological, great, you can. You can switch back and forth or not. Leave it. They should have done this a long time ago, but I'm very glad they're doing it now.
I agree. It's definitely something that you should have the option for. So that's good. But I also think that, there are some people who really don't care. There are some people who care very much. And there are a lot of people who say they absolutely desperately want it. But I think it will make their Twitter experience, apart from, live events, which is the thing Twitter is talking about, when really that's not the whole reason why they're doing it. But I think a lot of people think they want it, but are going to have a worse experience, because the fact is, you add more and more people you follow, and if every one of those people tweets, a few times a day, then you don't catch anything of what you would like to see. So that's the never-ending, debate about algorithm-based feeds. But I think there are at least some people, not everyone, but some people think they want it, but really they're going to be badly served by this feature. But it's good to be able to switch back and forth.
We don't fake our opinions on this show, and yet today we have fallen down very nicely on the chronological forever. Sometimes chronological, sometimes not, and you're going to miss the algorithm. I like the way we spread out today.
Well, we're also going to talk about 5G right now. AT&T announced it's launching 5G mobile service in about 12 U.S. cities: Atlanta, Charlotte, North Carolina, Dallas, Houston, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Florida, Louisville, Kentucky, Oklahoma City, New Orleans, Raleigh, North Carolina, San Antonio, and Waco, Texas. This is on Friday. AT&T promised to launch 5G service in 2018, so it's going to make good on that promise, although the service is only available right now via a mobile hotspot until 5G-capable phones start becoming available, and that's not happening until at least next year. The hotspot will cost $499 out of the gate. 15 gigs of data per month will cost $70. Ooh. So, yeah, it's kind of steep. AT&T also says it plans to add service in parts of Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Nashville, Orlando, San Diego, San Francisco, and San Jose, California by 2020.
Now, the hotspot costing the amount of a mid-range phone is a little bit insulting, but okay, it's brand new gear, and you're getting early adopters and probably enterprise people more than anything. This is the first mobile service. Verizon's 5G that it launched in California was a to-the-home 5G wireless service. So this is a big deal for AT&T, but $70 for 15 gigabytes when one of the big advantages of 5G is being able to download massive amounts of data in a short amount of time. I mean, you're going to blow through that cap really quickly if you're making good use of this connection. I don't get that.
No, I don't either. I can imagine as some sort of a business customer, and I believe that AT&T said that select business and customers and consumers will get unlimited data on for like 90 days or something like that. But I'm not a customer of AT&T, so it wouldn't apply to me. But yeah, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm like, unless you, for whatever reason, your company bought a bunch of these as a bundle and it made sense, it doesn't sound like a good deal. I mean, if the speeds are amazing and it works for you in a certain capacity, great. But yeah, it's that's kind of steep.
Just one day a month, I need 15 gigabytes of data, so that's fine. It's all good.
What would be the cost of 15 gigs on a 4G connection?
I mean, they're mostly unlimited now here, so I don't even know.
Unlimited, okay. Yeah. So I'm guessing this probably has something to do with AT&T not being super confident with the initial rollout of their network. They don't want everyone to be downloading all the things all the time, nonstop, I suppose.
Nuro is an autonomous car startup founded by two Google veterans that has started making fully autonomous grocery deliveries within a few miles of a Fry's grocery store in Scottsdale, Arizona. No human drivers on board. This is full autonomous on the road, not on a sidewalk, not a little robot. These are vehicles, street legal vehicles on public roads. The Nuro R1, however, has no space for people on board. Not only does it not have a safety driver, it has no passengers. This cannot even carry people. It only carries groceries. So it's a little smaller. It tops out at 25 miles per hour. And this is from a company that has already been doing self-driving Priuses with safety drivers on board, delivering groceries for Fry's. About 1,000 deliveries so far. They're going to keep doing that, as well as adding in these fully autonomous R1s. But this is one of those things that I think will get swamped because it's not cool enough to grab the headline of passenger service like Waymo, although Waymo's passenger service still has safety drivers. But it's also a big step up from the on the sidewalk autonomous deliveries, although it's in a very limited area. It's only going a few miles down the road from this grocery store.
25 miles per hour is usually residential neighborhoods. I mean, that's, one would think they're not going to be putting something that tops out at 25 miles per hour on a road where the speed limit is 40, because everybody would just be very upset. So yeah, just kind of, I not really knowing this area of Scottsdale, I wonder how much that, I don't know, just adds to congestion around people's houses and the grumbling that might happen. But then again, most of the deliveries are probably going to people's houses anyway. So,
yeah.
Few of your own cars, more of these.
Probably going on side streets to people's houses where they can then, put in a code to unlock it, just like the sidewalk robots do. And this will help Neuro prove their technology such that they can start putting faster vehicles on the streets and potentially, eventually, prove their technology is good enough to actually carry passengers. I feel like this is a better way to do it than the way Waymo and others are, where they're spending a lot of money to shoot for the top end right away.
Well, there are things interesting with Amazon as well. I'm going to move on to the other story. I could repeat what you guys just said, but let's not. Mark Rober or Robber? I want to say Robber because that's funny.
Yeah. Robert.
So Mark Robber caught thieves stealing packages from his doorstep on a security camera, but the police said they were unable to investigate the case. So the former NASA engineer put 4 smartphones, a circuit board, and a pound of glitter in an Apple HomePod box. The device was built to release the glitter and spray fart smell when the thief opened the box, and the smartphones would record the moment and upload it. An accelerometer checked GPS when there was any motion and activated the phones if it was off the porch. It was stolen several times and abandoned after each time a thief opened it. Police in New Jersey are working with Amazon to plant dummy boxes with GPS and cameras to catch thieves. They do not include glitter, to which I have to say, why not? Isn't everything improved with glitter and fart smell?
Right, because once you're spray, I don't know about the fart smell. I don't know where that's coming from. I'd love to know, Mr. Robert. But once everyone knows that once you get glitter on you, it'll be on you for months. You can't get it out of your hair or your eyelashes. It really sticks to the ribs.
And yet it's something that people generally think of as a festive thing. So he's not going to get a bunch of blowback of how dare you use glitter on people. It's like, no, that's what you use at parties and clubs and stuff.
Yeah. Why are you stealing my glitter?
It's an ingenious solution as far as the glitter goes, because you've tagged that person for sure. I'm surprised maybe the police in New Jersey might want to take a tip from Mark.
All jokes aside, and it's difficult to put the jokes aside because glitter. This is super, super smart. I would love to see. I read through the article. I didn't check too deeply, but I didn't see the pictures. I guess there are legal reasons why they
you can go to his YouTube channel. If you go to his YouTube channel, he's got videos of this.
Oh, there you go. Right.
Yeah.
He's
a YouTuber now, no longer a NASA engineer. He's stepped up to being a better paid position.
Yeah, this is really smart. I wonder if the police then found the beglittered thieves.
It doesn't. Yeah.
That's a good point as well. Not only is it annoying, but then then you're gonna have people being like, no, I was actually at a party.
Were you, sir, or did you have Mark Rober's HomePod?
Are you trying to steal?
Everyone looks more fabulous with glitter. That is the only reason I have it on my person.
I think it's fascinating that a package with 4 smartphones in it doesn't get stolen after you get sprayed with fart smell and glitter.
We don't know which smartphones. Maybe they were the cheap kind that the thieves don't want.
Maybe they're picky thieves. Hadn't thought about that. You're right.
Ford has taken noise canceling from its Edge SUV and used it to build a noise canceling doghouse to shield pets from fireworks sounds. I'm already worried about this on New Year's Eve. The walls are made from noise dampening high density cork. Sadly, though, the doghouse is just a concept from Ford's interventions project, and you can't go out and buy one just yet.
this is a way for Ford to get some press around its Edge SUV noise canceling, because it's meant to cancel the noise of the engine to give you a nice quiet ride. That's awesome. Whatever. That's great. I want them to make this an actual, real, affordable doghouse. I will buy it. If it's somewhere below $1,000, $999 would start to push it, but I will definitely buy this for my dogs, because I have all three of my dogs have had bad reactions to fireworks, especially on July 4th. Ray, not as much as the other two, but well, yeah, no, it's not fun.
I wonder if there's something
Pretty good
dangerous.
noise canceling too.
I wonder if there's something dangerous about the dogs being able to go to their dog houses and not hear anything. Maybe they're not aware something happens, or I guess it's very
it's an interesting
rare.
thought. Like, do you want to be able to turn it off sometimes if there's not noise, so that they can actually be aware of what's going on? Yeah.
I feel the same way when I wear earplugs at night. I would every night because I actually like it, but I'm like, sometimes, you kind of want to hear the world around you a little bit. You don't want to be in too much of a cocoon.
Unless your baby is sick. In that case, you don't want to hear anything. You just put those
cancel it.
Yeah. I would buy that doghouse. I would buy that doghouse and sleep in it.
Do they make it human size? Folks, if you want to get all the tech headlines each day, don't forget about our other show, dailytechheadlines.com. We have a bunch of shows: monthly video games briefing with Patrick Beja, Daily Tech Headlines with Sarah Lane and myself, and sometimes Rich Stroffolino. Check them all out. Daily Tech Headlines is at dailytechheadlines.com. All right, let's get to that Atlantic story. Atlantic's Taylor Lorenz wrote up a story today about people pretending to make sponsored posts on places like Instagram and YouTube to make themselves look cool. This is definitely a big trend among high schoolers. The idea seems to be to look like you're the kind of influencer who can promote things for many reasons. One would be so that you would actually get paid. People would say, oh, this person gets paid. They have a following. I will pay them to promote my product. The fake it till you make it sort of situation. It's also about street cred, though. Getting props from your friends, like, hey, I saw that brand deal you got. That's cool. You're big time now. There are no rules about doing this. There are rules about disclosing when you are paid, but there are no rules about disclosing that you're pretending to be paid when you're not. This is the part that blows my mind, because I don't think anyone thought that the rules all my life have been like, people are going to try to promote something and look like they're not getting paid, so you believe them, because if you know they're getting paid, you won't believe them. And the world has turned topsy-turvy here. Brands are not even fully on board of this. Obviously, they'll like the free promotion to an extent, but it can be bad if the fake sponsorship messages aren't very good or are off message, because you can't control them. It also seems to be driving down the amount of money paid to influencers. At least some of the influencers are saying this. That's all out of this Atlantic story. Sarah, you brought this to our attention. How are you wrapping your head around it?
Well, my first reaction was, what? And then I thought, well, yeah, of course, right? Because it's like, this is the new buying fake followers to make yourself seem more popular so that you seem, I don't know, somehow better as a person on social media, to your peers, right? A lot of people have done that and continue to. And for the most part, we've all gotten pretty used to the fact that a lot of followers doesn't really mean anything, because there's so many variables, and oftentimes those numbers are inflated or just outright wrong. So the idea that, I'm with you, Tom. At first I was like, but the whole idea is to not promote anything unless you're getting paid, because you want to get paid to promote it, because that's the whole point of shilling. Like, you get money for doing this thing that might make you feel like, well, I'm kind of, working for the man here. But to promote a brand so that someone says, well, wait a second, you must be cool enough for that brand to have come to you, makes perfect sense. And I can see why people are doing it, especially because you do see a lot of, and this is Instagram in particular, because I don't hang out on YouTube as much, but you see a lot of folks, who'll be promoting, not the tummy tea, but, something where you see a lot, and I'll kind of be like, they got a hold of this person. I'm sort of confused as to where this partnership would have come from. I don't really get it. They don't seem to have a big following. And so I think I've seen some of this fake stuff actually without realizing what it was, and just been like, well, I guess they're cooler than I thought that they were. Because there is a little something that happens in people's brains when you see something like this. If a brand has come to an influencer to help you to spread the gospel, then other people think, oh, that person must be pretty powerful. So I wonder how many brands are going to try to go after these folks and get this, this sort of stuff shut down. Because sure, it's not illegal, but
I'm guessing not many, but I'm wondering if after the initial boost in rep, it isn't going to be doing them a disservice. Like, oh, you're the kind of person that pretends, and the brands maybe won't be willing to be associated with them as much. That's actually something that they touch on in the article. I do want to talk about something you both mentioned in passing, but the reason I think why this concept is affecting us so much is that as you said before, you didn't want to promote stuff because it was selling out. And I think it does say something about where we are now I don't want to generalize too much. It's not like as a society, because this is a specific type of people on a specific type of platform. But the fact that we think, and that people on those platforms think that this is normal, that we're shifting the relationship with advertising, that of course people would do it because they want to seem legit. It means that there is a context where being an ad banner is being legit,
It's cool. It gives you street cred, right? And
exactly.
And I think it's important to note, if people don't realize this, that the influencer marketing has moved to the smaller influencers. You don't have to have a ton of followers to get legitimately approached by a brand anymore. In fact, the brands are liking giving smaller amounts of money to smaller influencers because they can spread it around more and they feel like they're getting a better effect. So getting into that game is what people want to do. And so that makes sense to say, like, oh, well, if I want to attract some of this money that's now going to more people, maybe I should look like I already get it, and then I'll get it. And also then my friends will think I'm cool because I'm selling out. Except it's not selling out anymore.
That's the part that gets me the most. But I wonder, regulations wise, do influencers or anyone that gets paid to talk about a product, let's talk about Instagram specifically, do you have to have, for example, a hashtag ad or hashtag sponsored?
The FTC rules in the United States say that you have to disclose that it's sponsored.
Right.
It has to be
to
clear.
Disclose it, but I wonder,
they're fairly flexible about how you can do that, but there's some suggested language that they put out there and say, as long as it's clear that it's paid, you can do it. But there's no rule about saying you're being, implying you're being paid but you're not.
But that's the thing. Let's say the common way is to put a hashtag ad or hashtag sponsored. If it's not there, I mean, let's flip everything on its head one more time. Let's say you do this and put a hashtag ad on your post. Does that make it not comply with rules?
No, because that's perfectly fine.
But it's still misleading. But it's still misleading the audience.
I could say,
not in the same way, but it's misleading. If you're saying you're getting paid to talk about this product, you're in a way giving yourself.
It's not illegal to lie.
I guess, but it's still it's not. The reason why you need to disclose it is that you can't mislead your audience, right? You can't mislead the audience.
The reason you have to disclose it is that you can't be implying that the message comes from you when it comes from someone else. It's not necessarily about misleading the audience.
Well, that's why that was my point of, how long before companies start going after people where they're like, well, you're not a brand ambassador of ours and we're going to shut this whole thing down. I don't know exactly how they do that. I guess they just, flag the account for now. But yeah, there's got because let's say you're there are all sorts of brands that advertise all sorts of things on the internet. Let's say you're a luxury brand and there's a certain type of, lifestyle that you're trying to promote and certain folks, I joked about being, the new face of Chanel, like Sarah Land's the new face of Chanel before we started the show today. It's like, okay, that's not happening, right? Like that's Natalie Portman's job. But let's just say I say it. Does Chanel then say, well, no, I mean, now you're bringing down like the value, what we value our brand to be. And, how much do you have folks who now work at brands, kind of whack-a-moling these fake people who are pretending to have gotten an in with the company and now are selling their foundation.
Yeah. I think it's probably for big brands and wide-reaching people. The wide-reaching people probably wouldn't do it, but the big brands might play that whack-a-mole game. But the smaller brands, I think they're going to enjoy this unless it's something that doesn't align with their message, and in that case, they might go and ask the people politely to remove that content. My conclusion about all of this is that I think, Sarah, you would do a much better job than Natalie Portman. I would buy way more Chanel than
isn't that nice? Thank you, Patrick. Well put. Chanel, are you listening? I'm ready. Really like their makeup also. Okay, let's move on to thanking those who participate in our subreddit, because you guys and you gals are just the best. You can submit stories, you can vote on others, and keep the community alive and thriving at dailytechnewsshow.reddit.com. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/dailytechnewsshow is where to go.
And we treasure your emails like this one.
We certainly do. Desmond from Richmond, Virginia wrote in and said, I wanted to share with the DTNS super community my plan to deal with spam and scam phone calls. If all of us do this, maybe they'll stop. Next time you get a spam call, answer, then preach to them to repent from the sinful scam calling ways. Keep preaching, then they'll hang up. If we keep doing this, we'll waste their time and make their evil business less profitable. Join me.
I respect Desmond's evangelism quite a bit. Yeah. I personally don't really want to spare the time for that.
Right.
And this is where Google Duplex comes in, and we put the AI to work for us. And so we use Google Duplex to continue, with all those supernatural, yes, I'm listening, blah, blah, blah. And, they can go on forever.
Now, ways.
And where it becomes fun is when those robocalls are made by AI and the Google Duplex is answering, and so it never ends because they always have to keep going.
I've never told anybody to repent for their scam sin, although I look forward to it. But once you do say like, well, hold on, like if you realize it's a spam or scam call, they usually just hang up. But who knows? Maybe if enough of us band together, all the scam callers will just get other jobs. Perhaps promoting something on Instagram.
GPEG points out we will have to learn Mandarin though.
Well.
In order to handle about 20% of the calls I get anyway. That's it for today's show.
It is. Thanks to Desmond for the wonderful mailbag suggestion, and thanks to Patrick Beja for being with us. Patrick, I know your family's a little under the weather, so we appreciate you going the extra mile and let folks know where they can keep up with the rest of your work.
Well, that's easy. There are two things I would recommend towards the end of this year. First is the monthly video game briefing. The latest episode is a big holiday guide. And as we usually do in that show, we cover gaming with a more, casual or occasional gamer bias. So we recommend consoles and games for parents, very casual gamers, and people like that. You might be interested if you have something to buy last minute for one of your relatives. And if you're more a core gamer, if you're really into gaming, we're going to be recording in just a couple of days our end of the year episode for Pixels. So if you want to subscribe to either of those, it's monthly video game briefing and Pixels for a giant discussion about this very, very fruitful year in terms of incredible gaming.
Well, I just want to say big thanks to Pan Am for the flight you put me on to the Bahamas. It was fantastic. I'll be gramming it soon. And thanks to everybody who's getting us towards our goal. We're getting closer, folks. So if you can jump into the pool and join to push us over the goal line, to mix aquatic and football metaphors. We assume you're all water polo players, and you can get us there by joining as a member at patreon.com/DTNS. We have some really cool perks coming after the first of the year, if you're into that sort of thing. And we have some really cool perks in there right now. You can get my editor's desk column. You can get a column from Sarah coming later this week. If you dig back a couple of weeks, Roger's secret way to save money while you're shopping is in there. It's all at patreon.com/DTNS.
Our email address is feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com. Write us, won't you? Send a photo. I don't know. We're live Monday through Friday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 21:30 UTC. And you can find out more at dailytechnewsshow.com/live.
Back tomorrow with Scott Johnson. Talk to you then.
Bye.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Get more at frogpants.com.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
I really do want to do a bunch of fake sponsored posts now for companies
That would be
that
really
don't
good.
exist or have gone out of business.
When you first, I was like, Pan Am still around? Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I get. See what you did.
Gentlemen and lady, I will depart from this here presentation.
Oh, it's the last time we get to talk to you, Patrick.
Oh, that's right. We don't. Well, I mean, last time this year, right?
Yeah.
It's not something's not happening.
Oh, right.
You didn't hire some kind of snow-based assassin that is gonna.
No, it was that curse that witch put on me. I can never leave 2018. I just keep
Patrick, this is your last show, all right? Trust us.
No, the last time this year. So, a blissful holiday to you and yours, Patrick.
Thank you very much. And to all of you as well. 2018 has been challenging and rewarding year, but thanks in no small part to your continued friendship, it has also been wonderful. That's all I have.
Well, that was very nice.
That was very nice. Yeah, it may have felt hard putting it together, but it came out great.
Yes.
Listen, babies do that to you. Don't get them. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I won't.
I might change my tune in a few years, but I'm not sure it will be worth it. Although, to be fair, he's so cute. He's so cute.
There you go. That's why they're cute. That's why they're cute. So you still love them.
Thanks very much, and I will talk to you next year then.
Happy New Year.
All right, Patrick. Happy New Year. Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Bye.
Happy holidays.
Silent night.
On Silent Night. What do you think, Lucy?
Joy to the world. Hark the herald.
There's for titles. There's "I'm Selling Out," like the Diana Ross song,
I'm selling out.
and then parentheses, "I want the world
That
to
actually
know."
works. That actually.
I'm sorry, Roger. What was the next
Um,
one? Well, we only heard "I'm selling out." What
I'm selling out. In parentheses, it said, "I want the world to know." There's also "Under the Influence?" ?
That's a good one.
JPEG had faking it to make the ad or making it to take it.
That's clever too. Yeah.
And then Baocow, anything you can sell, I can sell better.
I can sell anything better than you know you can.
You can't.
Because I can.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Where did that originally?
It's from a musical, but I can't remember which
Is it
one.
from Annie? Annie, get your gun.
Oh, I thought you.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Annie.
Annie, get your gun. Not
Okay. Because I know it, but you see it in commercials, and I don't
That's
know.
why I know it, because my sister sang it in the junior high production of Annie, Get Your Gun.
Okay.
She was in junior high.
This is not.
So I'm selling out.
Yeah, although I think I just want to do I'm selling out for character
Okay.
count reasons. And I think it still works.
Mhm.
What does Annie Get Your Gun about?
It's
Annie
about
Oakley.
a lady named Annie who doesn't have her gun and then she needs it and someone says that she should go get it and she does.
Is it about
Is that
Annie
really
Oakley?
what the musical is about?
I don't remember. I know it's like frontiersy.
Right. I figured it was probably from a certain era. You can
Yeah, it's
imagine.
about Annie. It's about Annie Oakley.
It's a sequel to Little Orphan Annie when she grows up and needs a gun.
Annie Oakley was a American sharpshooter.
She is mad.
Oh, that's right. It's based on a sharpshooter, Annie
Yeah.
Oakley. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she used to tour with Buffalo Bill
Okay, all right.
Okay. All right. Good. Great.
back in the.
One would think Annie Oakley would have been played in a movie more recently than an old school musical. I don't know if that musical comes
Ethel
around.
Merman played Annie Oakley in the Broadway production, apparently.
There must have been a movie.
Oh, I bet there was a movie back in the 50s or 60s.
There was a TV show in the 50s, Annie.
Ah,
Oakley.
TV show. There you go.
That's back when the heyday of children's westerns.
Mm-hmm. Bang, bang. Annie, get your gun.
Isn't that also not an Aerosmith? That's
Janie's Got a Gun.
Yeah, Janie.
Yeah, that very depressing song.
Yeah, definitely not as uplifting as the story of Annie Oakley.
No, wouldn't make a musical out of
Probably not.
the
Probably
Janie music
not making a
video.
movie out of that.
Yeah,
And Aerosmith music or not? Was it Aerosmith? No. Was it?
it was.
Aerosmith.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like if you did a music. The reason why I say this is because my daughter, my
Run
oldest daughter, is
away.
totally latched on to Styx's Mr. Roboto's song.
Okay.
And I was thinking, like, what if you just like every other band?
Wasn't that Devo, Mr. Roboto?
No, that's
it's Styx.
God, I think we
Well,
talked
what-
about this the other day, and I
what
just for some reason in my head I think it's Devo.
what does Styx have to do with Aerosmith? And
Oh
what
no,
does
like
Aerosmith
what
have
if
to do with Annie
every
Get Your
other
Gun?
band that wanted to do a rock opera? What
Oh
music?
yeah,
would
Mr.
you-
Roboto was written as a concept album, rock opera sort of thing. All the songs on that album are part of the story. Styx
like-
had a lot.
like-
Paradise
like-
Theater also.
What's the other one? Oh, come on, Sarah.
Tommy.
Yes, Tommy. That's another well-known rock opera.
I just know the pinball song.
Was actually turned into a movie too. The Tommy.
Right. But why are we talking about Aerosmith again? Just
Yeah,
because
where-
of the gun
how
thing?
does Aerosmith relate to Annie Get Your
Do
Gun?
they have a rock opera? They might have, actually.
How does Aerosmith relate to Annie Get Your Gun? I'm totally
No,
wrong.
Janie Get Your Gun. I was saying-
Janie's got a gun.
Yeah,
That
Janie's
you
got a
just
gun.
reminded Roger of
Janie's
the
got a
song.
gun. Okay, right.
Yeah.
You said that. I just spaced.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, you are acting 50, Tom.
See,
Yeah. You'll fool them all.
where's my pomade? No.
Have we talked about our love or lack of for LaCroix on the show?
Oh, I drink.
We talked about sparkly water on It's a Thing last Friday.
Oh,
Actually,
did you?
Mhm.
Well,
I'm
because
a
I've been
sparkling ice man myself. Not a fan of LaCroix.
well, and I actually am partial to Spindrift, which is another LaCroix type of, sparkling water that doesn't have sugar.
It's got actual fruit in it, right? Whereas LaCroix doesn't. I think.
It does. Trace amounts, but like there's
Mhm.
like 2 grams of sugar in a
Yeah,
can. But coconut LaCroix is very polarizing. You either like it or you really don't. I really like it, but it's hard to find because
don't like it.
the supermarkets often carry there's the stuff that they know it's going to sell better. Well, the Vons near me has cases of this.
Wow.
So now there are cases of it in my
You moved
refrigerator.
to the right neighborhood.
Sure did.
Yeah, the coconut LaCroix neighborhood.
Mm.
That should
I
be
know.
listed on the neighborhood profiles on all those real estate sites.
Seriously. Yeah. 10 out of 10 walk score. Coconut LaCroix nearby.
Great neighborhood for coconut LaCroix drinkers.
I have moved
It's
on.
just very easy to order online. I like to, get a kick out of finding it in real life.
You know, it's funny because I only got LaCroix because it was like at Costco and you could buy cases of this stuff pretty cheap. So they stopped the local Costco stopped carrying it. So I've moved on to the Signature Select, the house brand at Vaughn's for Soleil. Whoops. For Soleil. And I have to say, I like it a lot better.
Than LaCroix?
Yep.
Huh. But do they have coconut flavor?
I believe they do. But I don't like coconut anything unless it's actual coconut.
Senator, I believe they do.
Senator, that's a completely different company makes that phone.
To the best of my knowledge, they may.
Senator, I do not work for LaCroix. I don't know anything about the coconut.
I'll have to check with LaCroix and get back to you. I'll send it in my report to the committee.
I drink it, but I'm not friends with it.
I don't recall making coconut LaCroix. Don't recall that. Well,
yeah, that was I don't recall was the big Oliver North hearings. And it feels like the Zuckerberg era is I'll check with that and and send her an answer along to the committee later. When you don't know something, you know what? I'll have to look into that and send the answer to the committee later. I'm just going to start saying that anytime someone asks me something I don't want to answer. You know what? I'll have to check on that and get the answer to you later.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get back to you on that.
You know how fast you were driving? Officer, I'll have to check on that and get back to you later.
Let's circle back on this.
Yeah, let's defer this. I'll have my people look into it.
Let's take this offline.
My speedometer says I was doing 5 miles an hour.
No. You're missing the point, Roger. You don't say anything factual.
No.
You just say, you know what? I really don't know the answer off the top of my head. I'll have to look into it and get back to you later.
Just file it as paperwork.
Yeah. Total deferment.
Sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
Total deferment.
Total deferment. Sounds like a Pauly Shore movie.
This year's hottest action flick.
No, it would be like a Pauly Shore movie where he's on the run because he hasn't paid his taxes in 5 years. I'm deferring my taxes.
Total deferment.
It's like
deferring my military service. Taxes here. Total deferment.
What's your tax ID in theaters this summer?
Please write up your script pitches for total deferment and send them to feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com.
Please, yes. We will reenact them in our Andy Get Your Gun revival
Review.
The review that will be will be ready in Q2.
That is going to be our
2019.
new $100,000 patrons now. Our new 10,000 patron milestone is the all-star musical review
of Annie Get Your Gun.
Of Annie Get Your Gun, starring Sarah Lane, Roger Chang, Tom Merritt, Patrick Beja, and more.
Yeah. I mean, I assume I'm Annie, although it could be somebody else.
Don't assume. We could, flip the script.
Sure. Yeah, I'd prefer to be Buffalo Bill, quite honestly.
Sure. Yeah, why not? We're not going to box you in.
I prefer some buffalo wings.
That's probably a song. And Get Your Gun.
We won't box you in. See, we're so good.
Yeah.
It's the roles we were born to play.
Songs from Annie Get Your Gun.
So Roger likes buffalo wings. He doesn't like coconut LaCroix. He's not the love for animals doesn't move the needle so much. I mean,
wow. I think I know just looking at this soundtrack why it hasn't been made into a movie recently.
Oh, really?
Here are a few of the names of the songs. I'm an Indian too.
Oh yeah, that was
You Can't Get a Man with a Gun. I'm a bad man.
What? This is an actual song list.
The Girl That I Marry. There's No Business Like Show Business came from Annie
Garland. That was it.
Interesting.
She was in the movie version. She did the. If you look on YouTube, you can see why I'm Indian too is pretty offensive. Like it's a cut from.
I could mean, I could imagine without even researching it at all.
It was Ethel Merman was in Annie Get Your Gun.
Can't get a man with a gun. Well, that's not true.
And you can't get a
You
man
can.
with a gun.
Just, a little bit more forceful.
Rogers and Hammerstein.
No business like show business. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I would have thought that was from like Cabaret or, I just would not have thought it was in this musical. Yeah.
But I guess Buffalo Bill,
That's
the whole
That's true.
Wild Bill, no, I guess not Wild Bill Hickok, but the whole entertainment scene with Betty Hutton as Annie Oakley.
Frank E. Butler apparently was someone that Annie Oakley had a romance with, who's also featured in the program. And I don't know who any of these people are.
We're gonna work on our choreography,
Yes.
folks. So we need to shut the video off, but audio folks, stick around. There's sounds of tap dancing to come.